Hello, thank you for tuning in to this week's reads. Just a quick couple of things before we get into it. This should be on the YouTube channel, James13 Wicca. I like to put that out there in case somebody's pirating my stuff. It happens once in a while. It happens to all of us, it seems, one sooner or later. I also do in-person readings in Herkimer, New York. So if you're near Herkimer, New York, feel free to shoot me an email to see if you can get a time slot for that. I have an Instagram that's below that shows my current pricing. Of course, if you would like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com, James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. The donation information is also below if you just want to send a donation, which I very much appreciate. That being said, let's go ahead and get into your reading. Hello, Aries. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Aries? Using circular cards this time, which have a very interesting way of being read. Oh, that's interesting. And a step up, a step up. This one card's pushing out. I think I want it. Maybe not. No, we're going to leave it. So, we'll come back to it later. We'll come back to it. Oh, Pete. Should have turned that off. But... Okay, so what are we heading towards? You might be establishing something and it might have a lot of rules, but those rules might be under your control more than other people's. And when I say that, when Aries has control of the rules are allowed to evolve if they suit the situation better. So it's kind of like we might have allowed this and that for a while, but then we learned that that was too much leeway, so we tightened it up. Right, vice versa. We might have had things a little bit strict over here, but then we realized that was kind of holding things back. So we loosened it up and created some more variables there. Aries will adjust the rules if it's proven that that's not getting the best result, and this will be better for the situation. This makes more sense going forward. It's kind of like, you know, we're not going to use 1950s heart procedures to fix a heart when we are like 70, almost 75 years later. Technology has very much changed, so we're not going to use those outdated rules anymore. We're going to update them to the current technology and information, and we will change the rules if it suits the situation. That, to me, is Aries. Okay, your card. The Hierophant. No, that is not the Hierophant. That is the Emperor. That's your card. This is why I said Hierophant. It's at the top. It's looking at me, and I'm just like... That can be a difficult energy for Aries sometimes. And then there's the lack of movement forward with the 8 of Fire reversed on the dice. I've worked with others before, and it's worked against me. I keep getting that. I've tried to be negotiable before, and that's worked against me. I've tried to be very, like, okay, these are the parameters. But it just seems like things just didn't work where I thought they would, especially if this is a work situation. I feel like Aries gets in this tight spot every now and then, especially at work, where I got to be careful how I communicate, yet this isn't right. This isn't going right. And I'm trying to communicate that this is not right, but I also have to be careful how I communicate, because even though I'm doing the right thing and I'm communicating what needs to be communicated, people who don't like to be called out will twist the situation and make me look like the bad guy, not because I'm right, but because, you know, of the way I said something, the words I used, the tone I used, stuff like that. There's something here with the energy being a little bit out of focus, or something seems like it's kind of being, it feels like the deck is being stacked against me, But this, ironically, is a passing energy. And when they have the regain your focus, kind of like, don't let this situation control you. Not that you want to do that, obviously. I mean, let it control you. But I'm getting like, there's certain things in this situation that are being presented as if they have more control than they actually do. I've had this happen in my own life where there was a manager who was kind of a bully. I didn't stand up and say anything to their face, but they made demands and they kind of said, this is how you have to spend your lunch. And I was like, I don't get paid for my lunch, so you don't have any control over that. So I just literally just did what I wanted. And it was a female who was, when she came and, complained about it, I said, well, then I'm not going to clock out for lunch. If you're going to tell me what to do for lunch, you're going to pay me for it. And then she just kind of said, you better do what I say. And then she walked away, and I didn't. And I never had a backlash from it that I saw. But it's almost like some people trying to impose a rule or trying to get you to believe in a rule that may not be actual truth. There might be a bit of smoke and mirrors going on here, and you might already be starting to kind of see through it, and they don't like that. So they might be trying to corral you a little bit closer. It's kind of like, if I don't let you out of the kitchen, you can't see what's in the basement. If I don't let you out of the kitchen, you can't see what's in the attic. So there's things here that aren't making sense, is what I'm getting. There's some type of smoke and mirrors thing going on here. And you might feel like you're held down with something, or you're controlled by something that maybe these rules don't really exist. It's just that people are believing in something that shouldn't be believed in. The Seven of Pentacles reverse is telling me nothing is coming from this situation. It's like somebody makes it look like you have to do this, you have to do that, so you can become this. But these two things in that job, that's not real. It's kind of like, if you fill out this paperwork and you do this class, you can get this job. But it's kind of like that job is never going to be offered to you. That's kind of how this looks to me. It's kind of like, or it's kind of like, you do this paperwork, you do this class, and then you can get transferred over to this location. And then it's kind of like, by the time you have gotten all that done, they've sold that location off. Or something isn't right here. Something is smoke and mirrors. Something doesn't feel like it's correct. And I'm trying to get more of a handle on it, but I feel like there's a lot of moving pieces with this. I'm just going to drop things on the floor now. It's weirdly aggravating, because I feel like it's been going on for a while, and it's kind of like, maybe I felt like I had to buy into this, or it kind of feels like I can't fight City Hall. It kind of feels like that. Like the wheel is turned against me. I don't even know if there's anything I can make out of this. I try to see the bright side, but I can't even see, like, when the Four of Cups is reversed, it's kind of like, I don't really like what's in front of me, but I'm not really finding anything else I want from it either. So it's kind of like I'm starting to be disillusioned and not happy with this situation. And I keep getting, I feel like it's stacked against me. I'm trying to make better decisions. I'm trying to find something that works. It's just not showing up. That's the current energy. It's not like you're not putting in the effort, because I do feel like the effort is there. It's just I'm not seeing what I need to see. Okay, so how do we get you into that next place where you can? Because things are going more your way later, but we got to change the atmosphere a little bit here. Unrealistic expectations. Somebody's pushing something. I don't know. I feel like this happens mostly to areas in like a business situation where you feel like you have to deal with somebody, or you have to put up with something for whatever reason, paycheck reasons, I guess. I feel like I have to deal with this, and there's unrealistic expectations, definitely. And I feel like for a while longer, I'm gonna have to kind of deal with it for a little while longer. I feel like if you've gotten this far and you've been dealing with it this long, there's going to be a little while longer. It still is going to be in place, but it's kind of like I need to start refocusing my energy where I want my energy to be versus where this other energy wants me to be. Because something isn't right. Something is really kind of like it's not going to last the test of time. This isn't going to last forever. Because I keep getting like, I'm powering through it, but I feel like I have to like look at this in a different light. Maybe this is a situation you've been putting up with for quite a while, and it's kind of like you're coming up to this next level where something's going to come your way, and your knee-jerk reaction might be, well, yeah, I've heard that before, and you're just going to keep moving past it. Instead of going, well, I've heard that before, maybe give it a little deeper look. Kind of like, yeah, I've heard that before. Let's see if there's anything that's different. That's kind of like the trigger. Something's going to show up in the path of this situation, and it's going to, my first reaction is going to be like, yeah, I've heard that before, whatever. And I'm going to have the urge just to ignore it. But kind of like they say, look a little deeper. Kind of like, well, what makes this different? What makes this different than it was? This energy it's slow. It's slow change, which I know Aries is not a fan of. Aries likes to just get it done. But I'm getting slow changes coming. You're not afraid of the conflict. Typically, Aries are not afraid of the conflict. Typically. Not all of you. Everybody, there's different flavor of Aries, I know that. But typically, Aries is not afraid of conflict. And I'm getting like, you're going to start moving in the right direction. The first step is to take things seriously that other people don't want you to. I feel like this is reminding me, it reminds me of being in a bad marriage where somebody, you know, keeps making me think like, you can't do this, you can't do that, don't even try. Why are you going to waste your time? Why are you going to waste your money? Don't do that. Don't try this. Don't try that. You know you're going to fail. And I keep feeling that energy around me, and it's really aggravating. And the first step is to kind of go, all right, well, maybe they don't need to know what I'm doing. Maybe I don't need to share with them what I'm doing. Maybe I have to find a way to start trying other things and giving other things a chance without telling this person, whoever it is, what I'm considering or what I'm thinking. I'll just keep them busy with other things. I'll talk about other things when I'm with them. And it's kind of like, it says be a light to others, but I feel like it's better to say be a light to yourself. Be your own light, because something here I really feel like is oppressing you. I'm trying not to see it for some reason. I don't know why. But I feel like something is oppressing. And I have to kind of like look at it for what it's really doing to me. And I feel like part of this is accepting what this energy is and that it does not have my best interest at heart. And once I get past that, everything changes. Literally the card Get Your Power Back comes in with the Ace of Pentacles, and it's kind of on its side, which it's saying you have a chance to get your power back coming up. The first thing is to see whatever you're dealing with, that not only, it's not just that it doesn't have your best interests at heart, but like you might be loyal to something and it's kind of like, but it's not loyal to you. It's almost like I'm holding on thinking I'll just hold on until my opportunity comes. This situation doesn't care if you have an opportunity. If you get all the way to like, if you get 10 feet from the goal line, they'll shut off the lights and be like, well, you're done. That's it. We're not playing the game anymore. We're done. Sorry. I guess you were almost there. Oh, well. Whoever you're dealing with does not care is what I'm getting. Take it with a grain of salt. Readings are for entertainment purposes only. You know, if this reading is hitting, though, that's what I'm getting. They don't care. So if you get your energy back, you get your strength back, you get your viewpoint back, you get your gusto back, it's going to change everything. The Ace of Pentacles on its side, it doesn't mean things are going to change overnight, but I feel like once I see it in that light, I immediately start making different decisions. I immediately stop concerning myself with what this other person wants. I more look at it and like, what do I need to do to keep them out of my way? This is a heavy one a little bit. The energy is kind of like shifting. If this goes this direction, if it goes there, things shift. This might be a lot for, maybe there's some places in your life or some pieces of your life that maybe you're not shining your actual light on. You're kind of like maybe conforming. Aries is a strategical sign. So if you're kind of conforming, there's been a reason for it, and you do what you got to do. I've known a few Aries in my lifetime, and I have seen some of them kind of go along with things they don't like, but they've had really good reasons why, and I've understood why. I've also seen it usually has a time limit. Typically has a time limit to where they only get so far and they're like, you know what, blank this, if you will, and then they make a change. What are these? Five of Pentacles and the Queen of Fire reversed. People who are not loyal to you or don't have your best interest in heart, I feel like they're just giving this as a heads up. So I don't know what's going on here. But if you really get to that point where you're like, they don't really care what happens to me. They just want what they want. They could care less where I go or what happens to me. Once Aries sees that, it's very difficult to do things for somebody else's benefit when they don't care about you. So I don't know where this is going. Take it with a grain of salt. Readings are for entertainment purposes only. But I feel like once the real you comes forward, you're not going to play games anymore. And I feel like once I see that, like, I've been playing a game with this person the whole time, you may be very unhappy about that. So this may transition into a place where something is going to move out, and if you want something new in, you'll have something new in. Otherwise, you're going to shut that door and lock it, is what I'm getting for some of you. It's time for your real energy to come back. And I feel like for whoever this is hitting for, with the Aries energy, maybe you've convinced yourself, maybe somebody else has convinced you that you can't have your light, or you can't this, or you can't that. If this starts going the way this reading is kind of pushing, not only are you going to find your light again, but you're going to shine it, and you're going to put that beam on high. You're going to be like, it's going to be laser beam high. So, you know, get out of my way or get burned is where it might go. So for some of you, they're just kind of giving that heads up. Like, if you really move forward with this, you're going to reconstruct your life where you want it. And, you know, it might even go to the point, because I've seen this happen before, it's not just going to be the people who are kind of manipulating you that you're seeing, but anybody who backs that or reinforces that energy, whether it be knowingly or unknowingly, they might get the backlash too, is what I'm kind of getting. Because it's kind of like, I'm going in to my light. I'm getting my power back, and I'm not going to be accommodating to anybody else anymore. I'm no longer going to accommodate other people. I've had enough, and since I'm changing it and I'm going through this, you're dang right, it's going to be the way I want it to be. It seems to be this is more of like a heads up reading, like you're kind of heading that way, and if you kind of like just give yourself some opportunities to think things out, you'll probably find out what you partially know anyway is true, and then you're going to start refocusing, you're going to start reconstructing, and it might be a brutal situation for other people, but you'll get through it. You'll be fine. All right, I think we're good. I'm going to shut this down here. Hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4 astral@gmail.com. Should be right here. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day.